Hello and welcome. I'm Al Barrows, and this is UFO Disclosure, the podcast that's meant to show an average person's reaction to all of the UAP, UFO news from the internet, books, experiencers, and even our government. Today, I'd like to talk about a little known alien encounter that occurred in Italy back in 1993. Filiberto Copani ran into a very strange alien entity at night as he was coming home, just about around his garage. And at first, he thought it was a cat inside of a bag. He was making some sort of a whining, crying noise. But upon closer inspection, he found out that it was an actual mini or baby humanoid alien wrapped up in some sort of a self-enveloping bag that was either part of its suit or part of its body. It was reported to be about 70 centimeters tall, large black eyes, large head, very strange skin, but powerful long legs and short arms that were virtually not used, but it could leap and run at extraordinary leaps and bounds. And well, this became a big issue in the town. Filiberto was actually able to get some pictures of this creature, which I'll show in just a moment now, if you'll bear with me. Okay, so this is Filiberto and Capone, and the creature is right next to him. By the way, I'm commenting on this from UFO Insight, so it's I have to give a shout out and a hashtag to UFO Insight. Marcus Lowth did an excellent job of writing this up recently on UFO Insight. He's the host of the upcoming Mysterium, which will be on YouTube. It's a TV series on YouTube. It's going to be a hot new show. Anyway, this occurred in 1993, as I said. This is Filiberto Capone, and the alien is right next to him. As you can see, the skin, it's either a skin or a suit that it has on. I believe it's this back area that swells up, turns into sort of a ball, and envelops the whole creature. You can see also here that it has something in the front, some tubes coming out of it. It was reported to be part of its suit, some sort of breathing apparatus. The strange agonizing sound, it was speculated, might be a result of what it seemed to have on its legs. It seemed to have some sort of bandages on its legs. Filiberto Capone was only 23 at the time, but he was able to capture a picture, and later on, a week or two later on, he got a couple of other Polaroid shots as well. Some of the farmers in the area had reported also seeing some sort of a balloon-shaped thing flying out of a highly lit up object from the sky and fell gently into the field. And I'm guessing that that might be the actual envelope being a skin that it uses to protect itself. Might have been from a crashed UFO, might have escaped from some sort of a facility. But this being, okay, here's a picture of what that sphere looks like. And the first time that Filiberto saw it, he was just on the other side of his garage as he came home on his motorbike. And he was afraid to touch it. He thought it was a cat inside of a bag. He kicked it with his foot. Later on, his foot had some sort of a blackening effect on it, possibly from making contact with this enveloping sphere that the extraterrestrial used to envelop itself with. The whole family was engaged in this. The town eventually found out about it, and there was also rumors that some family in the town was harboring a small child, strange small child. Why this alien was attracted to Filiberto Capone's home? There are guesses that maybe it was using the water. They had two large water tanks next to the garage. Might have been using that. The creature itself seemed to have a moist skin. Could be that that's the way that it ventilated itself. Could be perspiration. Could be the way that it actually used the skin for breathing. But as I said, this is a picture of the sphere as it was first seen. And then when Filiberto kicked it, it actually turned into a small humanoid. It jumped way up into the air. That's when he realized that he was dealing with some sort of a humanoid creature. Here's another picture of what it looked like as it was opening up. So you can see where the head is of the alien, and it starts opening up the sphere. I would think that these are the legs, but there's speculation as to whether it's wearing a suit or whether it actually was naked and that was its skin. As I said, it could run very quickly. Here's a picture that Filiberto was able to take of the creature as it was in its backyard. Here you can see the size of the head, the black eyes, just has two holes for a nose, and there's the mouth. It reportedly had no teeth, just some gums. Came back on May the 23rd and made that same familiar screeching sound that Filiberto and his family were familiar with. I took out his Polaroid and took that picture that I just showed there. This is Filiberto showing where the creature was hiding, another shot of the creature, and you can see clearly here the tubes coming out of the chest. And if you look down at the feet, it only seems to have two toes, but very strong, long legs compared to the arms. As I said, the creature was only about 70 centimeters tall. For some reason, it was attracted to his home. As I said, it might have been because of the water, light. It provided some sort of a refuge. Eventually, Filiberto was accosted by the local police and forced to turn over the pictures that he had. And in order to avoid a lawsuit, here's another picture of him with the alien. You can see the tubes here in the front chest. Eventually, he had to back down from his story because he was going to be accused of starting a riot or scaring, inciting a riot because he was scaring the townspeople. Here's a picture of him in the newspaper, in the local newspaper, with a shot of the alien. As I said, Marcus Lowth wrote this article in UFO Insight. He did an excellent job. Here's another picture of the alien. This one looks much smaller. It looks different. So they might have been two aliens, one larger than the other. But here is a very good shot of the tubes coming out of the chest. And you can see the oiliness or the wetness of the skin. Two large black eyes, smallish arms. You can't see it here, but the legs are not proportioned with the rest of the body. It's much, the legs are much longer and stronger. Here's a shot of the Polaroids that was eventually taken away from him. And unfortunately, the local UFO organization in Italy um, showed initial interest, but then backed away from it. He had very little backup, unfortunately, from the local ufology organization. Here's some sketches that were made by Filiberto, how the creature moved. At first, it was crouched up in a ball in the corner of his courtyard, eventually jumped up and ran. It ran sort of like this, with his legs spread out and his arms not moving, very short arms. He was interviewed on Italian television. He was on a few shows. This is a very good shot of what the alien, well, this is actually a graphic of what the alien moved like. And another shot of him on Italian TV. Became a star, written up various times in newspapers. And here's another shot of the alien with its brownish skin. It almost looks as though it's has burnt skin, and the head is oversized, almost pumpkin shaped. And he was at one point. Well, he actually said that he when he backed away from his story because he was going to be put in jail for inciting riots and scaring the local townspeople. He actually said that the creature was made out of clay. He made up this story. And if you look at the pictures, his body sort of looks like clay, like sort of burnt clay, a brown auburn shape. And you can see where that story could easily come up. The alien looks so strange that you would have to go on UFO Insight and see Marcus Lowth's pictures that he included in his article. Here's some more sketches of how the creature moved. It's sort of a reptilian sort of a look to it. Its torso, almost bulbous, sort of had a shell and protruding spinal bones on the back, long legs, strong legs, and short arms. But the truth, of course, was muddied because eventually, as I said, Filiberto had to back off from his story in order to avoid any prison time. And this is another picture of the alien. And he actually fabricated a story about him creating a model of the creature out of clay. So, as I said, this is my reaction to this story because my podcast, UFO Disclosure, is an average person's reaction to news that comes out on the internet. I initially saw this years ago, and Marcus Lowth brought it back to my attention by writing it up in UFO Insight and providing these incredible photographs that I had not seen before. But Filiberto Capone, Alien Encounters, is definitely a story that Alien Encounter report that deserves looking at again. And if you compare that to other stories that have come out later on, you can see that maybe it's one variety of an alien that is out there. It has in common the big eyes, of course, the oily skin, tubes coming out of its body or out of its suit. That's unusual. And the shortish arms and extra long legs. Not sure if I've ever heard of that before, but this is something that struck me, especially when you see the pictures. My reaction to this is that it's well worth looking into. It's too bad it wasn't taken seriously by the local UFO group back in 1993. I recommend checking this out. This podcast was just a reaction to Marcus Lowth's article in UFO Insight called the Filiberto Caponi Alien Encounters. Filiberto is spelled Filiberto Caponi, and that occurred in 1993. So I'm Al Barros. This is UFO Disclosure, and this has been my reaction to the Filiberto Caponi alien encounter back in 1993. Thank you so much, and be sure to check out Marcus Lowth on Mysterium in September, and check out UFO Insight. You'll find the full article and pictures on the website itself. Be well, and all the blessings, and good luck to all.